Hey guys, happy Wednesday. Thank you so much for coming in tonight. My name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make lovely and quirky hand embroidery patterns and kits. And I'm here every night for our relax and craft sessions at 9:30 p.m. Central Time. So thanks for joining me tonight. We are finishing up the Hourglass block quilt tonight. We have the binding. We sewed the binding onto the back last time, and now we're gonna flip it around and sew it onto the front with our sparkly metallic thread. And I'm excited to use that again. I took a photo of where all my settings were at when we were using the metallic thread, so I got it all back to normal, did a little check. We should be ready to go. So I have my Wonder Clips today, and I'm going to clip down this binding and we will sew it on. I think, we'll just have to go around once to put the binding clips on and go around again for the sewing, and then that'll be it. We're gonna finally be done with this Hourglass quilt. Oh, and just the final reminder, guys, if you do want to sign up to win this quilt, there's a link in the post here on Facebook, and there'll be a link in the YouTube post as well. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna flip you around. We'll get going. Thanks for joining me tonight. So y'all have to let me know how your 4th of July holiday was. We went and saw fireworks. That was neat. I wasn't sure if we were going to go or not, but then we ended up walking down there. Our town kind of puts on a really good fireworks show, so we ran over there real quick. It was getting dark, and sat and watched the fireworks. It was fun. Thanks for joining me, guys. All right, so I have my Wonder Clips here. I have not done this before with a binding where I've clipped the binding with Wonder Clips, but just usually because I'm hand doing it. Usually I hand stitch all of this, but we're gonna do it with the machine tonight. And the main reason why I'm doing it with a machine is because then I can use this metallic thread again, and we can have like a little visible frame of that metallic thread around. So we've sewn it to the back. That's what we did last night. We put the raw edges together and sewed it to the back. Oh, you went to a barbecue and gained 50 pounds. Nice, Sherry. So I'm gonna take what we sewed last night and flip it around to the front. So I'm kind of flipping it. I'm feeling for the thickness of my seam allowance here. I'm gonna just wrap it around that. And what I want to make sure that is happening is that I'm covering up my sewing line that we did. And I'm just starting in the middle here. So let's just flip it around. I'll throw a Wonder Clip on there. And I think just like that, let's go around and do a little bit of that. I think we'll go all the way around, or at least till I run out of Wonder Clips first, and then we'll sew. But my main deal is I want to make sure that I am trying to cover up that seam line, especially since we're going to be machine sewing this on, so there will be a little visible area that pops up, so I want to really make sure to cover that up. And if a little pokes through, that's not the end of the world. Your neighbor shot fireworks and your dogs went crazy. Yeah, so this was the first year that we've been able, apparently, to shoot fireworks off in town here. So people were going nuts, and the fireworks were going off all night and like right next to people's houses and stuff. So I don't know, it was pretty crazy. How long would this take to hand bind? Really not all that long. I mean, I don't know what an exact time would be, but it's probably a 2-movie project, maybe a 1-movie project. That's like the only way I can assess time is how many episodes of Game of Thrones did I watch while I did it, So it definitely wouldn't take a day. It would be relatively quick, I think. I would call it a 2-movie project. Maybe a 3-episode project. But yeah, something this big, it's a pretty small quilt. This you could probably get done in an afternoon pretty quick. All right, we are approaching our first corner. I'm going to just snip off these little threads that we got going on there yet. I'm going to just get it going. So I'm going to flip that whole edge. You missed when I was sewing the binding to the back and flipping it over to the front. Just a different look. Oh yeah, so instead of, what I usually do is I've sewn this to the back, right? We did that last time on Monday. Usually I sew it to the front and flip it to the back. So if you pretend this is the back, I flip it to the back and then I hand stitch it on. And that's so that we can have a really pretty clean, invisible stitching there. And then, on the back, you'd see the hand stitches. So why I'm doing it different this time is because I'm machine stitching it and I want to show off the thread that I'm stitching it with. And that's the only reason why. Otherwise, I would have sewn to the front and flipped to the back. All right, so I'm going to flip this around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just flip it on one side and kind of try and get it so it's all the way flat. And once it's all the way flat, you know what? I think I'm going to put a wonder clip right here. And once it's all the way flat, we got this 45-degree angle here. Now I'm going to flip over that side. I'm going to fold it along this edge here. So I'm just going to grab it and fold right there. And if you got that 45-degree angle and then you fold it, you should get this nice 45-degree angle corner there. And I'm going to just clip that with a wonder clip. And actually, you know what? I can see my stitches there. So let's try this again. I'm going to just flip it over. There, so I got that one side. And then flip this side. And we may have to adjust this when we get to it again. I'm going to just throw a wonder clip over the top of it for now. And once we get sewn to about here, I'll probably redo this again. But this will hold it in place for now. And then just start it up again. But yeah, we'll tweak that once we go around. Oh, so I also I wanted to get my little label in here. I got these labels made forever ago, and I like years and years, like probably a decade ago. And I always like putting it in my, putting them on things I made. So I'm going to clip one of those in here. I think we'll do it so it's in line with these guys right here. Got my little penguin and fish label. So I'm going to just stick that there. Clip that. Oh yeah, Linda, so I wasn't on last night, so you're not missing much. But yeah, on Monday we put the binding, we sewed the binding onto the back, and yeah, just this yet, and we should be done. So I'm gonna have to really kind of flip this as I go a little bit, but all these clips will hold it in place and help me keep it from stretching and all that. So I think it'll still be helpful with these. Just going around. We're almost to the second corner already. I don't think it'll take that long. So the only thing else I'm going to do to this quilt after I sew the binding on is I will, oh, I'm missing a lot of you guys' comments. I will run it through the wash just because then I can test to make sure that the metallic thread isn't going to break. I know it was getting tight in a few of these lines. And it will just clean it up. I mean, I've been dragging this all over the floor and all that, so I don't, you know, it'll be a nice, fresh, clean quilt. And then it'll also puff it up a little bit. And then I will also just go around the top and any loose little threads that are sticking out from places like in the where we pieced, that I'll snip all those little edges, all those little threads off too. Then I will officially be done. And so I'll be doing a giveaway for this. It will, Here's another corner. So let's make it flat first. I will probably be doing the announcement on Monday of who the winner is. So again, if you haven't signed up to win this quilt, be sure to do that. I'm hoping to get a newsletter out about that too, but we'll see. All right, get this guy started. Yeah, I'm gonna have to work on these as I get to them. It'll be easier once this is in the machine, I think. I can really kind of work at those corners. Okay, flip to here. Oh, thank you, Irene. Yep, it's my birthday tomorrow, so I will not be on tomorrow either. But I will be back on Friday again. I think we're going to go to a museum in town and check it out. And I have to work. I'm going to be working in the morning. And then we are going to a restaurant that we both really love in the evening. And that'll be nice. Nice, relaxing evening. Oh, thank you. Oh God, it's gonna be sweltering though. It's like 90 degrees and a bajillion humidity outside today, and it's supposed to be like that tomorrow too, except for with, I think, thunderstorms. So we'll see what our out and aboutness is like. May end up just sitting here and watching movies or something, I don't know. But definitely gonna brave whatever weather there is to go out to eat, for sure. I'm excited about that. All right, we only have one more edge to go around. Oh, thanks, guys. You're sweet. I might run out of these Wonder Clips. I might have to get the minis out. They actually have big Wonder Clips. Thank you. They have larger Wonder Clips that are especially used for bindings like this. I haven't used those yet though. I don't have any of those. So we will also be starting a new project on Monday. Monday we'll be starting the travel art folio. I'm pretty stoked for that. By Patty Young of Mod Kids, so we'll be starting that. I will be cutting it. Yes, so exactly that, Judith. Yes, so it has been a year since we celebrated in New York. We talked about that yesterday because last year we did a trip to New York City and we watched the fireworks on the bridge there last year. So, yep, last year, that's when we were out and about there. I'm just thinking we went to the Met and took tons of pictures of cool paintings and stuff. I think we did that the same day. And oh, man, it was pouring last year, too. Everyone was turning around and going away from the bridge because it was just pouring. We had to jump into a store and buy an umbrella, which they conveniently had available right away. They must just have them in back and they bring them out anytime it starts to sprinkle a little bit. Stick them right out in front. But then it stopped and we got to see a fun fireworks show. But yep, that was last year. That was a year already. Crazy. We talked about going again this year just because we like going there. Thanks, Livy. All right, we are almost around. Oh, but I started halfway through on the one side, so we still do have like half of a side to go yet. Again, I'm gonna have to putz with this as we sew, but I think it'll be nice to at least have these kind of a little bit holding my place. Oh wow, Rosalie, that's exciting. That'd be cool to share a birthday with him. See if that actually happens, I suppose. Supposed to be born and actually born are, I'm thinking, two different things. Oh, running out of clips. Oh, let's snip these threads here. Never use these clips, and then you'll sew the binding by sewing machine. Yeah, so I don't have a lot of experience with that, sewing a binding with a machine, so this will be kind of interesting. We'll see how it goes. And I did not check how much bobbin thread was in, so I'm a little freaked out about that, but you know, if there's a weird little place where we've had to replace the bobbin, then oh well. That's how it's gonna be. Oh, every time I move, the metallic thread shimmers. I know, isn't it kind of fun? It really is. I've had such a good time working with it. I thought it was going to be just a disaster working with it because, you know, I've read that it's just really difficult and it seems like a weird thread that would be difficult, but we didn't really have hardly any problems with it on this project, which has been, you know, very exciting. You know, maybe I shouldn't be saying that quite yet until we're done. Will you be using the sparkly thread to sew it? Yep, I am going to be sewing it with the same metallic green just on the edge. That's why we're doing it this way. I'm doing it where I'm flipping it to the front on purpose because I want to be able to see that metallic-y thread. And I think that is it. We are around with the last wonder clip. Perfect. All right. I'll keep this near me so I can put the clips in as I go. All right, let's pick a side, I guess. I'm going to just pull this towards me. That seems easiest. I guess we stick it in the machine and give it a try. They're inducing labor. Oh, man. Oh, your 19th great-grandchild. Congrats, Rosalie. That's amazing. All right, let's... Oh, what's this? A little stray. All right, let's see how this works. I'm hoping we're good to go here. So I'm gonna stitch. I'm gonna start a little closer up actually. We'll start here. I'm going to I'm gonna eyeball it. So I'm gonna stitch. Let's see, where's my stiletto? I'm gonna just look where my needle is, and I'm gonna attempt to stitch right like a 1/16 to an 1/8 of an inch in. We'll see how that goes. I don't have any special foot in it. It's just my walking foot still. Maybe that's a good idea, maybe not. Oh, actually, you know what? If I line it up, oh, here we go. So I can line up, I'm lining up the binding with the inside edge of my foot here. I think that'll give me, you know, it'll give me like a little over a 1/16 of an inch, I think. So let's give that a try. Let's pull this up again though first. So if I can keep that going, I think we'll be okay. And we can adjust slightly if it's too weird. Oh, we might be a little, yeah, that might be too far. I'm gonna try that again. All right, yeah, I wanna go in a little bit further, so we're gonna try that again. Just that one stitch, well, that was easy enough to test. All right, I wanna be closer in, so I need to go halfway in, I think. And we're just gonna have to eyeball it. Yeah, I think this is gonna be better. We'll just see how this goes. I'm nervous. Let's take that guy off. So we'll check it out once I get a little further. So again, I'm just trying to fold it over my seam allowance. And I'm not too worried what it's going to be like on the back. It's not going to be right on the binding on the back, but that's okay. This front is the decorative front that we're going for. The back, the back is already attached, so I'm not going to have to worry about that. You know, this has no function on the back. Oh, look, okay, so I think this is going to look great. Let's get a little bit further, and then I think I can stretch it up in front to show you guys. And then we'll tackle this first mitered corner. We'll see how that goes. All right, so here we are. I think I can show you guys. There. So we are just a hair from the edge, but look, it has this nice sparkle to it. Oh, I don't think I back tacked it all. Oh well, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, so just a little bit from the edge. I'm probably about a 16th, maybe not even. So the trick is I need to stay on the binding though. I can't let it fall off. So far, so good. Oh, lost a wonder clip. That's our last wonder clip before we get to this first corner. Yeah, I think this green, like I would do this again. I haven't, like I said, I usually sew to the front and then hand stitch it to the back. So actually machine sewing it like this is relatively new to me, but it's fun. You could put like a thicker thread in there. You know, you could put some not sulky, well, you could use sulky, but you could put some Orfil like 12 weight thread in there. So here's the back. I mean, I'm not really on the binding or anything, but you know, I'm okay with that. It's fine. I'm going for the front. So the back might be a little silly, but oh well. All right, let's give this a try. So I'm actually looking pretty good here as long as I can get this one up here. I'm gonna get my stiletto in here to kind of force this fold. So what I'm shooting for is I want this 45-degree angle, and I want the two bits to, the two corners to kind of meet right there. I don't want them, you know, I don't want it to start here. I want them to both be on there. So in theory, if I sew right to here, I should have captured them both. I think I might have gone one stitch too far, but that's okay. Let's rotate. Yep, I'm still on the edge over there, so that's good. I think we are going to be good enough. That's what I think. I will check it. And I can always hand tack these down if it doesn't work. Or if I like, it looks like I might have skipped a stitch or something, but let me check. Oh yeah, I can kind of see the stitches underneath. So I can hand tack these down when I'm done too, and I might do that. I'll get a little further and then we'll check it out. Still trying to rotate all this bulk a little bit. There we go. Have you drawn the name for this quilt? Your name for this quilt? Not yet. I think I'll be doing the drawing on Monday. So right, like and I'll be announcing it on the Penguin and Fish Crafters page, so make sure that you're on there. And then we'll also be starting our next project on Monday. All right, let's see what this corner looks like. Oh, that's not too shabby. We got it stitched down. I just got a little too far in, but not too bad. I think it actually did jump a stitch here, but that's okay. We got this angle in here that looks like a stitch. I think we're perfectly fine, but you can see that they both ends kind of meet up really nice, so we do have like that nice corner. Some people will hand stitch this shut anyway, but I don't usually do that. I think it's fine as is. But yeah, it's nice and flat. But there we go. Let's get going on the rest of this. Uh-oh. The she who must not be named, the Amazon Echo. I can't say the name out loud because it'll start talking to me. It just beeped funny, I don't know why. It's always beeping at me. Okay, I am just trying to cover up these stitches. I remember one time we were talking on here and I didn't say the name at all or whatever. And all of a sudden it was like, okay, I'll put lobster on your shopping list. And I'm like, what the heck? Randomly heard me apparently say that while we're just sitting and sewing here. So that was kind of scary. I don't have my, it scares me too much to do. Yes, that's it, Gina. I'm too scared to do actual shopping, like put a credit card in there so you can actually just say, buy me this stuff. That sounds scary. California is where that quilt is found. This would be a nice, cool evening California quilt. We took a quilt to see fireworks yesterday, and I'm like, dang, this is what a quilt is made for. To sit and lay and watch fireworks. A short trip to southern Minnesota, yeah. How southern, like Rochester-y area? Ooh, I'm getting a little close to the edge here. Let's make sure I'm adjusted properly. I gotta keep it slow and keep an eye on what I'm doing. Oh, New Ulm. Yeah, that's not far away, is it? I don't think so. I feel like I need to do one of these summers here. I need to do like a road trip, but just to places here in Minnesota. Just to like discover Minnesota sort of thing. I think that'd be kind of fun. That's kind of like a staycation kind of. All right, I'm really liking this. I like this. It's like a tiny little metallic frame around this. You have 3 quilt shops in town? Holy cow, we have like 1 quilt shop. And we're like a big city. Yeah, Rosalie, that's kind of what I was thinking too. So I was like, yeah, this is kind of an experimental project anyway. I'd rather work on it. I'd rather give it a go on a project like this versus like a big project where I committed to the metallic thread. I mean, this is just a tiny little lap quilt experiment. But I think I don't know what other reason I would be using this. Maybe for some holiday stuff, this green metallic thread. I could see using it again for that, but you know, it's just because we use that sparkly fabric, and I wanted to make the borders special somehow because I didn't have sparkly anything for the borders. So I remembered I had this sitting around and thought I'd give it a try. Snowed once in Florida. Oh man. It's probably a disaster that snows in Florida. All right, let's try and get this corner good again. So I got this side folded over pretty well. I'm gonna just get my stiletto in here so my fold is right on the end here. I think this guy's gotta go. See, now you can see that my 45-degree angle isn't all that great. This point should be ending up there, so I think I can do that if I just putz with it a little bit, get that fold going well. Ooh, this one might be a little bulky. Oh, one is so pretty. I want to get this one like that too. Get this guy over a little bit more. Fold. Ah, just about there. I think my seam allowance is a little fatter here. All right, I think this is about how we're gonna get it. Kind of using my stiletto as pins. It's not quite perfect on there, but that's okay. I think this is gonna be good. Oof, okay. This one might be rough. We'll see. I think it's pushing the fabric up a little bit. Again, I can hand tack these down if they get too weird. Little invisible bits. Oh, we're coming up to my little label here. Let's rotate. Oh, it's looking so fun though. Look at just, you can see the sparkle in it. Sparkle, sparkle. Okay. I hope so, Nancy. Like I said, this isn't my typical way of doing it, but dang, I mean, be able to machine stitch both sides is, you know, could really make binding go a whole lot faster. And I just love, I like that decorative idea of it. I've also seen before people hand stitching it, but with a blanket stitch. So there's like this whole blanket embroidery stitch around it, which is pretty cool. All right, here's the label. Let's try and get that in there. There it goes. Yay. Oh, the snow melted in 5 minutes, but they closed the schools. That's hilarious. I remember we lived in California for a little in the San Francisco area, and it got to be like 40 degrees out, or like it was 38 overnight or something, and people were like, my door was frozen shut on my car, and there's black ice everywhere, and we were just like, you people are crazy. 38 is not cold in winter. That's almost spring. I got the labels made, oh gosh, a long time ago. I don't even know, but I do know that there's like a lot of Etsy sellers that can make them, like custom make them now. So I would just, if you want to get, it's a woven label. So if you were interested in getting a woven label like this, and then, you know, I have on the back my website, so it's just like a long label that's been folded in half. Just type in like custom woven label into, or woven clothing label or something like that into Etsy, and there's probably some sellers that can make them. But yeah, I got like a bajillion of them made, and I'm still using them up. I used to make a lot of wool stuffed animal cats, and I put labels on those all the time. And now whenever I make something, I throw it on there. If I remember. Sometimes I don't always remember. Too bad it wasn't sparkly too. So the one thing I don't especially like about this way of machine sewing it on is that we do have that line in the back. But, you know, again, is that really all that horrible? Not really. But I mean, like, if you hand stitched it, you wouldn't have that sewing line on there. Oh, you saw it on Mass Drop? Oh, just recently, Valerie? I'll have to check it out. I'm on their newsletter. I don't always know when they put stuff up there unless you guys tell me. Oh, you scratch like a cat with wool. I kind of do too. I can't wear wool sweaters and stuff very well unless I have something underneath it. I'll check Mass Drop again. They don't get it directly from me, so I don't. Oh, today's. Okay, I will go check it out. Yeah, so you might get a little bit of a deal on a kit through Mass Drop. I've bought from them before. It's kind of fun. Although, if you're wanting to get it right away, they don't ship right away because the way that they work is you're basically pre-ordering it almost. So they just see how many sales they get, and then I think they place the order, and then they have to wait for the distributor to send them the order, and then they send it to you. So it's not like a buy it and get it, 2 days later sort of thing. But it's kind of fun. I've bought rulers on there before and a few other things. Oh, so massdrop.com, Maureen, it's a website, and they sell a bunch of different stuff, but they happen to have quilting on too, which is funny. It's funny that quilting is with all that other stuff. But it's one of these things where, like, if a certain amount of people buy the thing, then it unlocks more of a deal. So the more people that buy something, the more of a deal you could get. And then once so it's over a period of time. And then, at the end of the drop is what they call it. Then they order them from wherever. In my case, they order them from a distributor. They don't order them right from me. And then they ship them off. It's my birthday tomorrow. Yeah, so just as a reminder again, I won't be here tomorrow, guys. I'll be back on Friday. I can't believe it's Friday already. Throwing the 4th in the middle of the week makes everything a little screwy. All right, another corner. I think we have this one and one more. Let's see if we can get this one good right away. Not quite. All right, let's get it flat first, then fold it right on that edge there. There we go, that's looking good. Now if I can just feed it through okay. And it gets kind of bulky at the end, and the machine doesn't always like that. All right, and it's coming up a little bit right now, so let me just put it down. All right, I think I gotta go one more. There we go. Oh. Ah, dang. I think I didn't have the presser foot down for that. Which means I might have made a huge mess just now. I'm gonna back tack and see how it goes. We'll see. I might have just made a little disaster there. My machine does not play nice with the presser foot up. Although it doesn't look bad. So let's pretend it worked. And again, I'll just repair it if it, by hand stitching it, if it just got totally messed up. There we go. Man, it looks up still, but it's not, it's down. Oh, there, I think it jumped a stitch. I'm gonna have to check it out. Yeah, I think mitering the corners are a lot easier. Hand sewing, maybe. You can really putz or like futz with it a little bit. You know, when you can make one stitch and then you can just like pull it into place right where you want it. It's a little more difficult when you gotta feed it underneath the feed dogs and stuff. Although I think it looks okay. Good, excellent. We'll take a look at it once I'm a little further along. Get some of those threads tucked under. I think we have one more corner to do. But yeah, I could see this doing, or like sewing a binding like this again for a kind of a decorative edge. You could actually use, if you have decorative stitches on your machine, you could actually do like a really decorative, you know, you could do like a little floral thing. As long as you're catching the edge, then you'll be fine. But yeah, that could be really pretty too. And then it's still machine done, which means it'll go really fast. All right, we're looking okay. Good. That didn't really cause trouble at all. Perfect, awesome. My machine does not have decorative stitches. It has other stitches, but they're for like clothing stuff. So like, you know, different stretch stitches. It doesn't have like, you know, anything really decorative. I could do a zigzag and that's probably about it. Which would actually be pretty cute too. If we had done, you know, if instead of these straight lines, I would have done some other sort of zigzaggy thing. Or if this was a chevron, like if the design was a chevron quilt, then I would maybe do zigzags, because a zigzag kind of looks like the chevrons, which I think would be kind of funny. So that would maybe be a reason to do a zigzag stitch instead of a straight stitch like this. I don't know. Be easy to do. So I think this is the 22nd, I don't know, I guess episode is what you could call these. The 22nd live stream of this quilt. And one of those streams we kind of veered off and made that extra block where we cut the hourglass in another funny way. So in theory, 21 of these sessions. So if you count this as like an hour-long session, sewing session, then it was about 21 hours of work to do this hourglass block quilt. And leisurely, I mean, I'm chit-chatting and going in slow motion, you know, just because I'm talking and, you know, we're figuring out things as we go and all that too. So, you know, I'm sure you could do it faster than 21 hours, but leisurely working in the evening, you know, just a little bit in every night, and eventually you get to that 21 hours and you've got a quilt. Thanks, Marianne. John's been trying to get me to open a present tonight, and I'm like, I can't open it yet. It's not my birthday. That was strict rules in our household. Can't open You don't open Christmas presents till Christmas, and you don't open your birthday presents till your birthday. No sneak peekers in there. That just ain't right. All right, we're coming to our last corner here. And, you know, I could have done this without the Wonder Clips. I don't use the Wonder Clips when I stitch to the back. I just flip it. Or when I hand stitch it, I just flip and then start stitching. And I probably could have done the same thing with this machine sewn way of doing it. But, you know, it is handy to not have to do that, to have everything just kind of ready. No, it has not arrived, my extension table. I'm kind of really bummed about it because the manufacturer didn't have it in stock, and I'm like, oh, dang. And there was only one other place that had it, and they said they had it in stock, but I don't think they actually had it in stock. I think they drop ship it from the manufacturer, meaning that they order it from the manufacturer once they get an order. And I don't think they actually had them. So I could have just waited till the manufacturer had them back in order. The manufacturer now has a notification that they'll be shipping, just on their website, not specific to me, but they'll be shipping, available to ship again on the 7th, you know, on 2 days from now. So I'm hoping mine is included. So it did a little, I'm just back tack again. It jumped a stitch again. It may be just time to change my needle again. But yeah, I'm hoping to get using that. So Friday, we'll be done with this. Friday's when I'm on again. I thought maybe I'd have the extension table by then, and I could do, I don't think we'll have it by then. I was hoping I'd have it, but I gotta get my splendid sampler quilt quilted too. I know, his family always sneaks in their gifts early. I don't know. It's not how it's done in my family. But yeah, so I want to get back on, you know, in between projects, I'll be trying to fit in some of my splendid sampler quilt. It's not going to be all that different from this. It's going to be straight line quilting, but I'm going to do a bunch of vertical lines in the border, and I'm just going to be stitching in the ditch everywhere else. I'm going to need a nice sharp new needle for that. You know, I could do this echoing stitch in the ditch like what we did for this, where we do the 2 by 2. I think that's kind of fun. I could do that again maybe. I don't know. I'm going to have to break that out and start assessing that again. It's been a little while for the splendid quilt. But this was good. It was good practice to get some quilting in before doing all the mega quilting on the splendid quilt. I know, some Wisconsin crickets chirping. I will be in, oh, I don't know if I'll be there on one of the days that I scope though. I may be there in a couple weeks. And then we might be able to hear some Wisconsin crickets. Oh, I know, I'm excited, Marion. Man, okay, we're close. I'm like, isn't this the last edge? Where's the ending of this? It just seems like it's going and going, but it's coming up. I got about 2 feet worth yet. This is kind of nice that, you know, instead of like, I don't know, 4 to 6 hours or however long it would take to hand bind this, you know, we're getting it done in 1 hour, 2 hours if you count getting the back on yesterday or on Monday. So that's a benefit. Like if you're doing a lot of baby quilts or something, or you just need to crank out a bunch of quilts for some reason, like a charity thing or something. This machine sewing the binding, I mean, that'll get her done quick. So that's kind of nice. Although I do like hand stitching it. It's relaxing to sit on the couch and your quilt finally gets to act like a quilt. You get to, you know, put it around you and then just stitch the binding on. I kind of love that part. And you know it's the last step, so that's exciting. But, you know, it's also kind of nice that this is going super fast. All right, that was our last wonder clip. I was freaked out then, wondering if I had bobbin left, but I do. I need like 4 inches more bobbin. We'll see. All right, here's my end, and I don't think I back tacked it at the beginning, so I'll have to do that at the end here. All right, here we are. Oh, I can't reach my reverse here. All right, a little back tack, and we're done. Did I throw out any hints of what I wanted from everything? I'm not sure. I don't know if I did or not. I don't know what I want. Maybe I did, who knows? Well, I'll have to ask him if he picked up on anything. But I wasn't on purpose, I don't think. Subconsciously hinting, I don't know. We'll see. All right, I'm just snipping those threads off. All right, and just to make it over where I started. So that's I did do that. I back tacked over where I started because I forgot to do it at the beginning. But look at all the sparkles. I mean, it really is, when it hits the light, it is so shiny, this metallic thread. But here, now we have a nice little metallic border around the edge too, so it doesn't just stop abruptly. We got this nice metallic line holding it all in. So let me see if I can tilt it this way a little bit. I'll have to lay it down and take a really nice photo of it. And I'm gonna wash it and everything too, so I'll show it to you guys after it's washed. But here's the next thing. I'm gonna wash it, but then I have to go around and, you know, snip all these we got little edges here and there, and I'm sure there's probably plenty in here. We'll clean it up a little bit. But that is that. Yeah, I would do that again. That's a fast binding. So here's what it looks like on the back. You do see that sewing line, but, you know, if you match the thread to the back better than I did, then it's okay. But look, really nice mitered end there, and pretty good on the front too. We did have that jumped stitch, but not too shabby. So some people actually now go by hand and tack these down, but meh. Oh, by washing this, I'll also be able to get rid of, you know, you can still see my water-soluble lines on here. Washing it should get rid of that as well. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna flip you around, and we'll take a little closer look at this too tonight. All right, so that was fast. That is a nice, fast binding. I'm for sure gonna do that again. Here, I wanna get this guy out in front. So here we are. Oh, there's the label, so now we know that's the bottom. There, it's a quilt! And then here you can see, I'm like in love with this border, just how shiny, shimmery it is. Sparkles, and then the sparkly inside too. But fun! All right, so that was learning how to do the hourglass blocks all the way through this fun metallic thread, playing around with that. I haven't done that before. And different type of binding. I learned a lot on this one. I got to practice a lot. And I got to use sparkly fabric for the first time. And I don't feel so bad about buying that fabric now. Now that it immediately turned into something. I was just like, when I bought that fabric, I could feel myself just yelling at me for buying it while I was doing it, so I'm glad I used it right away. Yeah, so I think it's 58 inches by 54 inches. It's kind of a little bit of a weird size, kind of maybe not quite square and not quite like rectangular. So it's a little funny, but I think it's nice still. Yeah, so I wanted to, that's why I added the larger border, because I didn't want it to feel like a baby quilt. I want it to feel a little bit like a lap quilt. So, okay guys, I will catch you on Friday. And remember, sign up if you want a chance to win this. And thanks for the birthday wishes. I'll let you know how it goes on Friday. So thanks again, guys. Ooh, and Friday, I don't know what we'll be working on. It'll be a mystery. We have that one day in between this project and when we start the next project. So maybe I'll squeeze in some Splendid Sampler, or we'll maybe do something else. We'll see. All right, guys, have a great evening. I will catch you on Friday. Good night.